Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a Lions mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. And yes, we have breaking news.
Bluetooth on. Bluetooth connected.
DJ Moore has been traded to the Buffalo Bills. We are waiting for draft compensation, with Keon Coleman going to be on the opposite side of him, and Khalil Shakir moving back to the slot where he thrived in that Buffalo Bills
Bluetooth
offense.
Connected. Bluetooth connected.
This is a big move for the Bills, and it also makes it so the Bears will have approximately $35 million in cap space after the Dahlman retirement. We still don't know why Dahlman retired. We probably won't know for a while. So the Bears have cap space now. Hello. You know, DJ Moore was not targeted as much last year due to the emergence of Rome Odunze and Luther Burden towards the second half of the season. And you watch. That offense isn't any worse. Trust me. They're not going to regret it. They needed the money. And they're probably going to target somebody like Tyler Bidays at center. Somebody that I thought the Lions could go out and get. But we haven't made any moves to restructure, which is concerning. There we go. Now I'm on Rumble too. And let's do this right. DJ Moore is now a Buffalo Bill, just waiting on draft compensation. I'm hearing it's a day 2 pick, either a second or third, but nothing's been confirmed as of yet. The Falcons are moving on from Darnell Mooney as a cap casualty. Deebo Samuel was moved on by the Commanders, as well as Tyler Bidays. It looks like McGovern will not be a Bill. And maybe McGovern, by going public with him not being contacted, is a push to get them to make an offer. Who knows? They got a couple days to do it yet. Because remember, the tampering period starts Monday and free agency starts 4 p.m. on Wednesday. So we're going to start hearing about where people are going as of next Monday once the tampering period starts. The paperwork can't be filed till free agency period starts at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. We've seen this before in the tampering period. Just like when the tampering period opened up back quite a few years ago. Oh, I bet he is too. Great move for them. Now they don't have to take a wide receiver in the first. Now they can probably go and fix the defense. Whatever linebacker is available at their pick at the back end of the first round, because they're not giving up a first for DJ Moore. Considering what they gave up in compensation for DJ Moore back in the day. Remember, first overall pick, blah, 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 blah. We heard it all. Both teams will be better because of it. That broke 21 minutes ago that he's traded. Still waiting to hear. And don't forget, DJ Moore is going back to Joe Brady, who was his OC when he was with the Panthers. I heard the same thing, either a second or third rounder, a day 2 pick. So until it's put out in print, I don't know for sure, and I can't say for sure. We don't know, but I know it's not a first, which means they can target defense at the back end of the first for them, which they need desperately, because look at how bad their run defense was last year. It's a reason why they didn't win games when they needed to. But that's the breaking news today. Darnell Mooney, free agent. Deebo Samuel, free agent. Isaiah Likely, soon to be a free agent. Linderbaum might be a free agent because he turned down a market-setting deal to stay in Baltimore. And its rumor is it's because he wants to follow Harbaugh to the Giants. So, and they have cap room. They've been making room. They're releasing Brian Okereke because they're doing a fundamental shift to their scheme from a 4-3 to a 3-4. So he doesn't fit. Square peg, round hole. It makes sense. All the other guys on the team are the types of guys that can fit a 3-4. So Brian Okereke is going to be a free agent. There's a lot of free agents coming up. And yet, a lot of our GMs, unlike the Bears GM, who just cleared $35 million in cap space in 2 days, one on accident, one on purpose. Because let's not forget, Dahlman retiring because they put all that money heavy loaded into last year's contract, which is what ate up a lot of their cap, all that bonus and stuff. This year it clears more cap than dead cap. Accidentally a good move for the Bears. Unexpected for a 27-year-old center to just hang it up. We still don't know why he hasn't came out public. But thank you, John, for saying that. I heard the same thing. That's why I said it. I heard day 2 pick. It's not a day 1 pick. I'm just waiting for the details. Guess I'm going to have to search and see if I can get to Ian Rappaport, see if he has anything. Yep. DJ Moore's highest productive years with Carolina were 2020 and 2021 with offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Shocker. Familiarity. Players going back to old coaches they had familiarity with. It happens all the time. And that's why I said don't be surprised if Fruholt, who's supposed to be a cap casualty for the Cardinals, because he hasn't been re-signed, if he takes a nice little team-friendly deal to be rejoined with Drew Petzing here. And we need a center. Juice Scruggs is not a starting center. Even though he gave up 0 sacks, he gave up almost a league-leading amount of pressures, which is why he was benched in Week 11. He started 10 games for a reason. They had an injury on the O-line. But he didn't do horrible. He just didn't do good. But he rated better than Glasgow, who was giving up sacks like a revolving door. So it brings somebody in that can play guard and center. Good. He was a 4th-round pick for a reason. And his draft profile said he played like a brick wall in the run game. His PFF grade said he did not. And everybody says, oh, they traded for Howard. No, they traded Howard away from that O-line to the Cleveland Browns, who extended him for 3 years and $63 million because they need O-line help. And Howard was their other starting guard. So they just got rid of 2 pieces off their O-line that was abysmal already, that ranked 32 in the run game last year. And as bad as our O-line was, we at least ranked 23rd in the run game as an O-line rank. So I don't know how successful Monty will be. I know he'll be successful because he works hard and he breaks contact. But if it's enough, at his age, 29 and about to be 30, losing a step because it looked like he lost a step after that injury. Say what you want, and I'm not saying he was horrible. Those are not the words coming out of my mouth. It made sense when we're over the cap to get rid of Monty. And I hate it because I love him as a player. I love what he brought as vet leadership. But we've all talked about this. The easiest position to replace on the offense is a running back. People say wide receiver, and it's not. It's more of a crapshoot. How many first-round wide receivers have we seen bust out? It's easier to get them later because you find a gem who breaks out. But thanks, John Dorn, for coming in. We appreciate you. Rich Bisaccio is now going to be the special teams coordinator at Clemson. Is that what I'm hearing? Yep, a mid-round pick compensation going back. The details are not there, but that's what it is for DJ Moore. Yesterday, the Cowboys cleared $66 million in cap. Tell me they're not getting ready to make a move on somebody. I think they're trading for Max Crosby. And that's going to make them dangerous. Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, Max Crosby. They restructured Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyler Smith. And here in the North, other than polls and a bunch of people being cut and put on the trade block for Minnesota, our GMs, while we're over the cap, John, and not myself included, are sitting on their hands on restructures that could clear cap. And you know who I'm talking about. We could clear cap with Goff just like you guys could clear cap with Love, and it's not being done. And I don't understand it. You got some other players you could clear cap with too. And after the injury to him, I wouldn't be surprised if you restructure Micah Parsons a little bit. He still gets the money up front. It just moves it to void years to clear cap. And that makes sense business-wise. Got to think of it like a business, not in the terms of the player, but the player does have to agree to the restructure. That's the thing that everybody forgets. So while we all sit here and talk about what we should do and what we shouldn't do, it's not being done, and it's disturbing. Anyone that thinks that it isn't disturbing is not paying attention to what's going around the league. Good deal. I'm talking about the big moves where it actually clears free agent clearing cap. That's what we haven't heard yet. Clearing $9 million, that puts you just under the cap, correct? Or did you guys need to do? No, it's Minnesota that was $44 million over the cap. They have a lot of work to do. Don't be surprised if it's Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, or Kyler Murray in Minnesota. I hate to say it, but I think one of those three end up there. And the one that makes the most sense. I know. It seems like he's just sitting around, but we need to clear cap. We're still 3.5 million over. Somebody has to get restructured. It can't be JMO or Hutch because that clears nothing. They're on fifth-year options. So it's got to be Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, and Aleem McNeil. We gave him the ERFA deal. He's officially not a free agent. Yeah, they're cutting three of their defensive tackles. And yes, that's going to clear up half of that cap room. They still got 24 million to go. And I thought it was funny. They were, Jetta made a joke about being in royal blue and SOL gold, sol, which is the Mexican word for gold or sun. And then they traded for Trent McDuffie yesterday. I think that took him out of the equation. But we're still waiting to hear what the compensation is. Rashid Shaheed is going to be a free agent. It's going to make him at least paid as much as a mid-level kicker, and I think he will sign it. Because by tendering the ERFA thing, it makes it so he can't talk to anyone else already. And next year he'll be a restricted free agent. So that means that we end up with the control to talk about contract extensions, which I think is smart. You're keeping the cost low while his value is high still. But if we don't restructure, that's going to push us back over the cap more. And then you end up with cap penalties, which can lead up to losing players and or draft picks. So let's not fool around, because it took the Saints have been doing this every year, and this year they were only 55 million over the cap versus the 90 million and the 60 million and the 80 millions that we've heard over the past few years. So they're kicking the can down the road. Process works. I don't want to get to where it is. That point is my point. Hit it now while we're barely over the cap. Push that money down the road where the cap clears up, because as of 2030, which is where you'd be pushing Goff's money to, we basically have a whole team of free agents. King SJ, DJ Moore is a Buffalo Bill, waiting to hear what draft compensation, but we're hearing a mid-round pick. Late second, late 30. We know, but at the same time, Decker is 30-something years old. He's less likely to restructure. So, and I've said this before, I wouldn't be surprised if nothing's done and everything else. The cap casualty this year, before we sign our free agents to clear the cap, will be Decker. It saves $18.1 million to cut him after June 1st. And if you look at some of the people in the 30-person invites, Monroe Fielding, Max Ahinakor, Zion Young, Akeem Messador, Cassius Howell of Texas A&M. Second or third, day two. Anything after the first round is considered a mid-rounder anymore. So I think Buffalo will end up going defense in the first round, that or O-line. The Steelers are releasing tight end Jonnu Smith. And the Chiefs now have the cap room after what they did with Mahomes' contract. Think about this. They could end up with Kenneth Walker. Or sign Tyreek Hill to a league minimum. There's all sorts of things they could do. But since we haven't done anything, there's only one thing we can count on. It's not free agents. It's the draft. That's why I do mock drafts every day. And it's time for the 63rd mock draft. Because until I have Lions news to discuss, there isn't anything to discuss. So let's do it. Well, not trading back now. I mean, that's a great compensation. That's good compensation. That's way too much. But the guy I said that if he was there, I'd run to the podium and grab him, Francis Maligawa. Pick 53 and 85, 74th and a. But we give up 118. Not doing it. Oh, look at that. Logan Jones already got drafted. Where'd he go? Or did it not switch it to ESPN? It didn't. There he is. Gabe Jacobs is gone. Danny Dennis Sutton is gone. Anthony Lucas it is. No. 987. Wait on that. Traden Stukes is gone. Sicario Davis is gone. Why aren't they putting up the numbers for here? Because those guys all ran. As a matter of fact, he had a very good combine. I don't like this guy's size. This guy's intriguing. There we go. Even he's gone. Unless they moved it back to guard. Nope. Toriano Pride's way down here because of his size. Tiny boys. Tiny boy. To be determined. That's out. I don't get it. And this guy actually tried out with the running backs, not the wide receivers. 6 foot and 198. Doesn't quite fit though. See, it still says we have pick 142, and I'm trying to figure out where they get that from. Because everywhere I read, we have 9 picks, not 10. But according to this, we have 10. Finally took a Michigan man. All right, let's see what we got. Notice I didn't do any trades. Francis Mauagawa, Logan Jones, Anthony Lucas, Zane Durant, Michael Taft, Tanner Cozio, Azilian Hamilton, Chip Trayanum, Jack Strand, and Jimmy Rolder. Because I do think we end up with a safety in free agency, because I think that's a need. And we're going to have to get two. We know that Branch won't be back till the end of October, early November. And we don't know if Kirby Joseph is coming back at all, who decided to have acupuncture instead of surgery on his cartilage that will not heal. So I still think that's a huge mistake by Kirby, that he's risking his career on a holistic approach. It sometimes works. What do you guys think of that draft? We're going to need a tight end, and I think the draft is where you get it, because Brock Wright's gone. Shane Zylstra's gone unless we sign him. We didn't tag anybody. You know why? The tag prices were too high. We're already over the cap. If Mauagawa fell to 17 and we didn't draft him, it would be a huge mistake. In my opinion, I think he's the best tackle in this draft. I think the second best one might be Monroe Freeling, which, if he wasn't there, I would have traded back and been fine with taking Freeling or a Hennicore. So at $35 million in cap room, they need a center. They still need edge help. I don't think they trade for Max Crosby in Chicago, because they're going to have to give out more resources to other players. They don't have a safety on the roster, which means they got to re-sign two of them. You were hoping it would be Byard. We haven't heard that yet, if you're a Bears fan. And don't forget, Saturday night, it is my baseball roundtable talks. Inviting teams of other fans of other teams to be on. Hoping to have Paul Spada, MDE. I hope you're there as well. He's not in the chat today. He's been busy. So please make sure whatever platform you're on, you like the stream. It helps the people that it's going into, not necessarily me. I don't even send this to my own Twitter. I send it to Viking Rob, and I send it to Ken the Bear Fan. So if you're watching on those platforms, make sure you hit the like. If you like what you see, share it. Because right now, all we know is they're not happy with J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, and they don't want Wentz back. So that's where you're at there. They don't like him. He's a first-round pick that they didn't want, but Kwesi did, who valued PFF more than his eyes. So that's basically the news today. Hopefully we hear something tonight. Something usually breaks in the afternoon. For some reason, we've been doing the Lions news later than usual. Glasgow got cut around just before 2 p.m. the other day. Hallelujah. It happened. Montgomery was traded just before I went live. DJ Moore's traded just before I go live. Trent McDuffie yesterday was traded just before I went live. Tune in tonight as I'll be a part of Fire Up, and we're going to talk about the moves around the league and NHL, NBA, and all of the above, as well as some MLB news. Probably more about the World Baseball Classic, which starts this weekend. So have a great day, everybody. Try to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your attendance. And have a blessed day.
Turn it up, it's that time again. Jeremy B. Lines, he's your best
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.